Wonderful. So yes, as I said, welcome to our International E-Waste Day webinar, all about the Great Cable Challenge 2025. So thank you for joining us. Wonderful. We'll just do some quick introductions so you know who we are. So I am Neve. I'm the Local Authority and Environmental Partnerships Manager here at Material Focus, and I'm joined by my two colleagues today. So I'll hand over to Charlie to say hello.
Hi, yes, I'm Charlie. I'm the Senior Marketing and Communications Manager.
Hi, I'm Tally. I'm the Local Authorities Partnership Officer.
Wonderful. So just to run through a few things today, what we'll be discussing. So what is International Waste Day, what it's all about, why the Great Cable Challenge, and then we'll quickly run through what we did last year and some of the successes of the campaign, and then most importantly, how you can get involved, what you can do as a local authority, and some success stories from 2024. So yeah, we'll get cracking.
It won't let me go to the next slide, weirdly.
Oh,
there we go.
oh, there we are. Nothing like a bit of technological issues to get us going. So just hopefully a lot of you already know this, but just to introduce ourselves in case you don't, we are Material Focus. So we are the independent not-for-profit company organisation even behind the Recycle Electricals campaign. So our aim is to save valuable, critical, finite materials from going to waste and make sure everyone in the UK are fixing, donating and recycling their old electricals. And the work we do is split into three I's. Our first one being insights. So we do a lot of research into kind of key areas to help improve the waste sector. An example of that, you may have seen some of our research into single-use vapes recently, used quite a lot in media coverage. Next up is investments. So we're continuously looking at identifying and funding projects that physically make it easier to reuse and recycle your old electricals. So we do have our electrical recycling fund, which I'm sure a lot of you have already heard of. And then finally, inspiration. It's kind of why we're all here today. That's all about our Recycle Electricals campaign. It's our behaviour change campaign, which is making it easier for people of the UK to, as I said, fix, donate, sell and recycle their old and wanted electricals. So with that being said, let's get started on why we're here today talking about International Waste Day.
Lovely, thanks, Neve. So International E-Waste Day, for those that don't know about it, it's a key moment to raise awareness of electrical waste as the fastest growing source of waste in the world and in the UK. So it's founded by the WE Forum, who the international association representing producer responsibility organisations. And in the UK, the lead member is Ecogenesis, formerly REPIC, and it's open to anyone to participate. So I'm sure many of you have been involved over the years or seen it growing or seeing it on our socials. But it's a real key moment in the year to kind of galvanize collective action. I'm sure you've seen lots of different organizations with awareness days. It's having kind of that focal point in the year for people to really talk about, understand the issue, and unite with also hundreds of countries across the world, all uniting on the 14th of October. It's our biggest annual campaign, and it's growing in awareness and engagement every year. And we're really excited that the Great Cable Challenge is back. So on to the next slide. Some of you might remember this, but yes, so last year was our official launch of what we called the Great Cable Challenge. And what that really is about is, just go to the next slide, Tally. It is, here we go. It is a UK-wide campaign focused on tackling those unwanted cables that are sitting idle in our drawers, unwanted cables and other electricals as well, or to give the copper inside them a new lease of life. So we picked this challenge. I'll kind of go on to why cables, but it's a simple and small ask. So we ask people to recycle at least one cable, with the aim that that will build long-lasting behavior change. So if they haven't recycled before, just doing it once successfully will start to kind of build that trust and build that momentum to embed long-lasting behavior change for recycling electricals in the future. But also, I think what it does is, I'm sure all of us have a drawer of doom. And yeah, it's that shared truth of, as you can see the picture here, I'm sure we've all got one. And it's, I think what was especially popular was that, you sort of mention cables to people and everyone sort of got them. And so we use that narrative of, use this as an inspiration to finally delve into that drawer, either recycled cable or what else you find in there. So we actually across the UK have 130 million cables stashed away in our drawers. That's enough to wrap around the earth 3 times. But what a lot of people don't know, if they just think big cables are cheap or just small ones, but all these cables and other electricals contain valuable, critical, and finite materials like copper. So last year we did a big push around the copper that's inside our electricals, helping people to kind of understand its value and how essential it is for everyday items like phones, transport, clean energy, and medical equipment. And the best news is that copper is 100% recyclable, and recycling it uses up to 85% less energy than mining for new copper. So we explored that in our research last year around how, if we are recycling cables and other electricals, we can use that copper to put towards what we're currently facing as like a copper deficit in the UK. And so, yeah, as mentioned before, just asking people this one small ask can make such a big impact, but it also feels really easy and achievable. If we sort of just look at it and it's okay, the ask is only one cable, people can kind of feel like it's an easy thing to get started with, but actually they just then find out how easy it is to recycle generally. So last year was a huge success, and a special shout out to all the local authorities that got involved, because it really was a success due to your support, sharing the campaign and getting involved. So across all of what we did with all of our partners, we had over around 200 organizations getting involved, from local authorities, businesses, community groups, all encouraging employees, customers and residents to join the challenge. The research that I mentioned had national and global coverage. So we had almost 550 pieces of coverage, reaching almost a potential of 1.3 billion people, which was incredible just to kind of get a cable on the map of talking about the value that's actually inside them, and sparked a real national conversation about that. We had millions taking part, which was great to see, and the public absolutely loved it. I think, again, just tapping into that narrative, Tally and I actually went out and we filmed a video which just started with us just holding a ball of cables, and you won't believe the number of people that actually came up to us just to talk about that and talk about, a draw that they had similar to that. But all of the content that we put out and the social media infographics that you helped us to share, that had a really high engagement rate. So for those in social media, you sort of see a sort of 1 to 3% engagement rate, and we had 5% on our content. So yeah, really resonated with the general public across the UK. And then also, just the best part as well, hundreds of thousands of cables recycled and thousands of kilograms of copper saved as well. So we saw loads of pictures from businesses, from community groups, from people taking part as a group, or even just doing it individually. Just, yeah, lots of cables, lots of other electricals, all recycled, kind of inspired by and leading up to International E-Waste Day. So brilliant to see. So why should you take part? As I've mentioned, it's a small ask, but with a big impact. What you'll be taking part in is like helping to tackle one of the UK's fastest growing issues. So not only e-waste being the fastest growing waste stream, cables are the most commonly thrown away, that people don't understand the value that's in them, or they're just so easily to replace and they're quite small. But tackling that with a campaign that's simple to deliver and easy to promote. There's an opportunity to signpost to your local recycling services while aligning with our national campaign. During International E-Waste Day, we will also be going out not only with a big splash for Great Cable Challenge, but also, as I'm sure you've all seen, our Hypnocat ad will be back. We'll also be sharing other assets alongside that as well. So yeah, watch that space, and it's a really great time for you to sort of align with that, and we just reach as much of the general public as we can at all of these different touch points. The best thing as well about awareness campaigns is kind of that opportunity to talk about it over a period of time. So our plan is to launch it in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be talking about it right up until International E-Waste Day. So finding lots of ways to bring cables into people's lives. And then, with this being our second time, we know that it's a tried, tested and loved campaign, both by councils, communities and the general public. And last year we saw really high engagement and really positive feedback. So we're really excited to be bringing it back. I'll hand over to Neve to talk about how you can get involved in this year.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, so Charlie's touched on a lot of the reasons why you should get involved, why it's really important, why the focus on cables. But just to kind of hit that really important message, 80% of the UK public think recycling is a good thing and we should be doing it, yet 40% are still binning the electricals. So there's still some work to do, and we're hoping to get you on board to help get that message out there. Fab. So the first ask, one thing hopefully everyone can get on board and do is promote the campaign on your channel. So what does that mean? So Charlie's done a really good job of kind of explaining that drawer of doom. And from conversations with local authorities last year, we all knew we all had one, and kind of encouraging people to look for that cable kind of had that knock-on impact for other electricals as well. So you look at that drawer, within those cables, there may be things like old cameras, remotes, electric toothbrushes, things that we've kept hold of that we probably shouldn't have, and all can be recycled. And so making sure we don't lose those vital critical raw materials within. So simple asks, use our ready to go assets. So our comms toolkit will be available with things like social media posts, suggested copy, infographics, lots of Hypnocat for the Hypnocat fans out there, and things like newsletter templates just to help get that message out there to your residents. You are the voice that residents look to for kind of that advice when it comes to recycling their electricals. So if we can get you on board and sharing that message, that would be great. And also, it's a really good way to promote your local services. So you're already doing a lot of great things. Let's signpost your residents to that. So let them know what they've got in their local area. And our call to action always encourages people to search recycle electricals, which takes you to our website and our recycling locator. Really easy to use. Pop in your postcode and you can narrow it down by item and also what you want to do with that item. Are you recycling it? Are you repairing? Are you donating? So we can help you signpost what already exists, which is a great thing to do. And as always, please tag us on all the different channels. We'd love to see your support so we can shout about it next year as well. Fab. But if you are keen to do more, the next thing we want to talk about is expanding existing services. So we've got a few case studies of things that worked really well last year we wanted to run through. So Greater Cambridge Shed Waste Service, they did something similar. So they promoted and expanded 8 bins across Cambridge City Council and South Cambridge District Council for International Waste Day. So they did this in the run up to the day and the day itself, and even a little bit after, all with that noise of International Waste Day to help give it a good push. And they amazingly collected over 1,600 cables, which weighed in at a staggering 354 kilograms. So brilliant, really great use of kind of existing things they already had, but also building on that. And a lovely quote from the team there, kind of just saying how successful it was, and the assets were great to use as well. Fab. And another idea is holding a community event. So another case study we really wanted to highlight was what Newcastle City Council did in partnership with Newcastle United Football Club. So another really nice idea. The council already does a lot, but for one of the games they had, they encouraged fans to bring cables along with them, which was a brilliant idea. And they collected a staggering amount, I think enough to wrap around the pitch 14 times, which is great. So a really nice idea of kind of building that kind of community element, bringing in the local community to kind of celebrate the day. And then finally, wanted to mention what Luton Council did. So they held a nice community event at their local shopping centre. They added some storytelling elements and had special guests to kind of just really bring in the local community and school children. So that was a really nice idea. Once again, just to kind of highlight the different variety of things people thought of, different ways to do local community engagement. So it's up to you really what you're interested in doing. Fab. So handing back over to Charlie.
Yeah, so ready to get involved. 16 minutes, that's all it took to convince you. So I'm just here to talk about the next steps on the timeline. So we're around here about mid-July. So after this webinar, we'll be sending around basically like a summarized version of our guide. So I'll have those case studies that Neve was going through broken down, and also just a bit more context of the ways to get involved. So we'll send that round, and then we see sort of over the next couple of weeks into July, just you getting in touch, letting us know what you're interested in, how we can help support you, or if you would like some more information. Neve and Tally are excellent and full of ideas, so I'm sure they'd be very happy to support and just chat through any ideas that you might have. And then, as Neve mentioned as well, we're working on updating the materials that are available for you. So those will be available by the end of July. And you saw some of the pictures that were shared on some of the slides, but they will have assets for Hypnocat, for infographics. We've sort of used and reviewed some of the assets that you found popular last year. So making sure we're putting the most commonly used, the favorites back into that pack. But of course, if there's anything that you'd like specifically, we can help you with those. Just anything that we can do to kind of tailor to your event and your ideas. And then into August and September. So obviously this depends on what you're planning to do, but that would be about confirming your activities, setting up those pop-up events, installing any bins, speaking to your comms teams and just kind of getting that booked in. And then September into October, we start that the comms warm-up, whether that's speaking to the public to promote your activities or just resharing our assets. That will also be sharing, no doubt, in more frequency as the weeks lead up to International E-Waste Day on October 14th. So yeah, just a little run through of what's happening next.
Fab. So I'm sure you're all now convinced and ready to get involved, but just to run through the ways we can do that and how we can help. So as Charlie kindly said, we are here to help. Tally and I are the partnerships team, so feel free to get us in touch and get in touch with us and we'll help you along the way. So really want to emphasize those free to use, ready to download assets when they're available, ranging from press release templates, the social media assets and copy, and a real range of different assets depending on kind of what works across your channels. But we're really here to help promote what you're already doing. You're doing a lot of great work and we just want to help support that. So it's a really good opportunity to get the message out to your residents. It's a really important topic. Although it is one day, International Waste Day, it's a really good excuse to talk about it in the run up to the day itself, and even afterwards. So we're really keen to get your support on that. We also have available things like signage and bin stickers. So if you were to do some pop-up events, or even you want to promote some of the existing things you've got for International Waste Day, we've got them available. So let us know. And like we mentioned before, that one-to-one support. So if you've got any ideas and you want to chat, then please do get in touch. We're really keen to get you involved and make it even better than it was last year. So yes, drop us a message. We're more than happy to help. And that's it. Thank you for listening. As simple as that. So we are going to open it up if anyone has any questions. So do please feel free to use the Q&A function and pop it in, and we'll try and answer as much as we can. But like I said, if they haven't come to you now and you need a bit of time to think, Talia and I are available. Please feel free to drop us an email. We can schedule a call and we can chat. But there will be lots of different communications going out in the next few weeks, months, newsletters and things on LinkedIn, that type of thing. So make sure you're signed up to be kept in the loop if you're interested.
Yeah, just to echo that, I definitely stay in the loop with the newsletters, not only to receive these slides and the guide that I mentioned, but then also the communications toolkits as well.
Let me put our emails in the Q&A for everybody, so you can contact us if you want to. Someone's just asked that, and I think that's a good question. Tally, do you mind if I share yours as well? A thumbs up?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
That's a live GDPR tick box right there.
Brilliant. I'm just going to pop that in the Q&A, so please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Wonderful. Give it another couple of minutes. Maybe everyone's having a little think about it. But yeah, like we said, the creds deck that we'll be making available kind of goes into this in a lot more detail. So if you want some time to kind of have a look over again, the slides and recording will be made available. So yeah, some time to go and have a think about how you want to get involved and what might work for your area, for your local authority. But yeah, really, really hope you can get on board, get the message out there. Fab. Yeah, I think that if no one has anything, then maybe we've answered all the questions in the presentation. Oh, we've got another one come through. I thought they'd start flooding in. So we've had some asks about will we share the slide deck so we can share with our comms team. We can share the slide deck, but I do think the creds deck that will be available soon will probably be more helpful because it's essentially what we've ran through, but in a little bit more detail. So that'll be available shortly. So yeah, as Charlie said, make sure you're signed up to newsletters, that type of thing, to be kept in the loop, so you know when it's ready.
Yeah, it's a very similar layout to this one, Julia. It's this one is just the webinar friendly version, so less copy. So yeah, the creds deck, as Neve mentioned, will be probably more helpful to share with the comms team.
Brilliant. And someone's asked about how we get to our resources. So if you just head to the Material Focus website, it's really easy to use. You sign up, make an account if you haven't already, and then you'll have access to not just these assets, but all of our assets. So everything on Recycle Electricals, lots of Hypnocat. So yeah, go and have a little look.
Oh, we've had another question here about, will we be offering a box and collection to local authorities again? And that's from, oh yeah, sorry. Do you want to take that, Neve?
Yeah, so I think it kind of is dependent on what you're doing as a council. So we aren't a waste management company. We don't actually collect. We're just here to kind of help and raise that awareness and education piece. But if that's something you would love to do as a council, we'd be definitely happy to support. We can offer bin stickers and the comm support. But we aren't kind of operationally, we won't be doing the bins. I hope that helps.
Oh, we've got
Hypnocat love, yay!
Hypnocat love, we love to see.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Simon. He loves you too.
Great. Shall I pop in the Q&A the website if anyone wants to know where to get them from? Wonderful. Oh, it's just gone a bit frozen. Okay, I don't know if anyone has anything else, or shall we kind of pause it there? Don't know if anyone else has any closing remarks. Charlie, do you want to finish up on anything?
Oh, put the pressure on me. I'm trying to think what would Hypnocat do? It's been positively, oh God, this is going to be in the recording.
We can cut that bit. Well, if nothing else to say, then just thank you all for coming, for giving up your lunchtime to come and join us. And yeah, get in touch. We're really looking forward to making 2025 International Waste Day even bigger and better. Brilliant. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time. Great. Have a lovely afternoon. Goodbye. Stopping the recording.